New information about a body that was found in St. Louis's Shaw neighborhood, a neighborhood that didn't have a single murder last year. Good evening, I'm Ann Allred. 5 on your side's Morgan Young joins us live from the Shaw neighborhood, where local leaders want to curb crime with a plan of their own. Morgan?
Well, Ann, 48-year-old Roger Richardson's body was found at the end of this alley early Friday morning. Police are investigating this as a homicide, but for the leaders in this neighborhood who I spoke with today, it's the type of thing you never want to see happen in your neighborhood, and they say it's part of a greater crime issue that they are actively working against.
Starting on Wednesday, there were 16 blocks reported gunfire.
And Dan Powell says the shots continued.
The next day there was gunfire. Last night there was gunfire.
Continuous calls and complaints shared amongst the people living in the Shaw neighborhood. And if the gunfire wasn't enough,
then of course the body found on Friday.
In this alley, where police say they were called for a suspicious death early in the morning, the 48-year-old victim was found dead with injuries to his face and chest. Police told 5 on your side they could not confirm whether those injuries were gunshots. Powell, who leads the neighborhood's crime prevention and safety group, says the timing of the shots, where they were heard, and reports he received makes him doubt the man was actually killed in the neighborhood.
It looks like the body was dropped off there and left.
St. Louis police data shows no homicides in the Shaw neighborhood last year and just one in 2018. But even with numbers that favor other neighborhoods where the homicide number is in the double digits, Powell, who's lived in Shaw for more than 20 years, says crime is a problem here.
The crime's gone down.
He says from where it was years ago, but that's come with a different kind of shift.
It's not just strong arm robberies. It is most time we have robbery, it's done with a gun.
A shift toward violence. Crime data shows violent crime in Shaw was up 60% at the end of December from the year before. The safety group created a network of doorbell camera surveillance and called in extra patrols at the end of 2019. Both yielded results. Their next move is to release a 911 survey they created to the nearly 7,000 residents in their neighborhood and citywide.
Information that we can present to the city said, hey, this is what's happening with the 911 calls, at least perceived good or bad.
Data they hope will lead to steps toward a city with less crime, one neighborhood at a time.
We've actually stepped out of the alley. It's just here to the right of me. But if you look straight down the block, this is where Sasha is on Shaw sits. You'll remember just a few months ago, last September, a man was actually shot inside of that wine bar. Just another example of what neighbors told us at the time is something that happened here that's very uncharacteristic of this neighborhood. In St. Louis, Morgan Young, 5 on your